Rome, what are you looking for here? You said you were talking about comfort picks. What are those comfort picks?
Comfort picks for VONM would be to try and either secure a fortress, perhaps, because they build so many different comps around her. But with GankStars banning fortress, nice job,
so
boys.
they know and then made sure to take that away.
Oh yeah, because like there's so much diversity when you're paired up with a fortress. So banning fortress on GankStars power is actually a very good choice.
And those comfort picks for GankStars are?
For GankStars, they have a very big hero pool too. So either mages in lane or putting like DPS like Vox or Ringo, where we might see old school playing, would be really nice.
Yeah, it would be. And Hafu, you've played a lot with Fuji, you've played a lot with old school. What do they each bring? Because depending on the comp, the one will be in lane, will be in jungle. It switches all the time. What are the things that stand out for you about each of those players?
I think old school, once again, I keep noting on his mechanics. I really want to see him play Celeste here.
Yeah.
I think a Celeste is really, really crazy, and it's one of those champions that really can get kills on their own in lane. And Fuji is just such a strong shot caller. He really has a sense of how do we win from here at every point of the game, and I think that's really important to have a leader with a decisive vision.
I'm not sure that he had an answer to how do we win from here when he was a saw in that mid to late game, having not made it in that 10-minute time window that Rome talked about. GankStars Vega, they start with a Catherine. We've seen Catherine hasn't been really a priority pick much in this tournament. Leading out, what does that indicate, Rome?
Taking out a fortress in the bans and knowing how Phoenix plays, especially as a roamer and as a splendid roamer, in fact, his second pick would probably have been Catherine. So because GankStars secured that Catherine first pick, it leaves Menace with like either going through an Adagio or an Arden or maybe a Kroll support.
So is this really designed to try to make Phoenix more uncomfortable?
Yeah, while building their jungle duel.
And there is the Celeste that Hafu talked about coming off for Menace, which means that old school will not be able to play it, followed up by a Rona. Thoughts on these?
So scary.
Yeah, this is definitely
scary.
very scary. Because there's two roamers left for the last pick on VONM, so they have a choice of probably going Arden or Adagio, which works very well with Rona. On GankStars Vega's side is I'd probably try and secure someone that's very good at taking out Rona while like staying far back enough not to get too much poke damage from Celeste.
So you already have that peel from the Catherine. They want to make sure that Rona cannot get to the back line, and the Catherine and the Glaive will certainly help you do that, Rome.
Oh, most definitely. What's going to happen with this, especially since they picked Skye now, is they're going to be wanting to play from the back, just keep kiting back until Rona has so much damage taken down her that executing her out of the picture would be a lot easier than to see her stand up front, take all that damage, and pretty much like sustain herself while Celeste pokes.
Now we've seen this scenario before, a lot of Rona being played, especially by Status Bake Liberation X, but can that Rona make it to the back line with all of this peel there? And Skye's natural repositioning. The crowd is certainly into it. The number 1 seed Menace to number 3 GankStars Vega. Rome, give us some final thoughts on the Menace comp.
I really like this Menace comp. I feel like they have that very strong early aggression where they won't have too much pressure being pushed back. So they're going to farm out fine. They scale out a lot better. It's going to be dependent on how well Love Ice Forever lands his ultimates, his skill shots, which we all know like he's very good at these types of skills. And like you can't expect him to like be missing or like making any misplays because he hasn't done so far any.
Hafu, any final thoughts before we get into this critical second match?
Keep seeing Ronas go through, and they usually are victorious, so I'm pretty terrified for GankStars.
Okay, we'll see what happens. Let's go back to the casters. Action Jackson and Tasty Bacon, take it away.
Thank you, Playoff Beard. Potentially the final game for us if VONM can take this one home, or we may have our first game number 3 if GankStars can manage to turn it around. I'm Tasty Bacon, once again joined by Action Jackson, getting ready for game number 2 of this best of 3.
I'm hoping we can take it to a game 3, because whenever you watch these like super top teams play, you get extremely entertaining games. GankStars, not afraid to pull out a really interesting composition, try it against the number 1 seed coming into this. This is a different situation than it was earlier on, though, because this time around, the loser isn't getting knocked out. They've still got some more chances. You have to lose twice to be out of this.
Yeah, and so we are going to be getting into game. Again, there's still 3 more best of 3s after this. We'll be passing it off to our other 2 commentators. But for now, this is the big one that people care about, and that's going to be the game number 2. Love Ice Forever and Old School in the lane. Old School rocking the glaive in lane. A GankStars special, so to speak, as
Von Menace. Look at this. This is exactly just what they do. Get together as 3 people, go for a kill. Fuji, he wasn't ready for it. He goes down already. Less than 1 minute. I think that's a new record, first blood.
Yeah, that is super quick, and that is the Von Menace that we have come to learn and love here in the VGL, as they just group up insanely early, get that kill, and then go and steal jungle camps away, as now Love Ice Forever finally returns to lane, but the camps in the backside are being stolen here by Von. Catherine trying to do what she can to take away the Von camps, but obviously 2 are going to clear significantly faster than 1.
Yeah, Fuji might be able to interrupt their plans a little bit here, but you got to be careful against Arden Rona. They have the potential to just jump on you, ruin your day. Fuji is going to start trying to back away. Look, he's got good damage with the forward barrage. He's actually going in 1 versus 2 onto Phoenix right now. Old School roaming down. If they were to meet up with Rekt on the other side, they might be able to get a good flank in here. Von C is about to face check this push. The stun lands. Maybe GankStars can find themselves a return kill here. But look at the speed up. He's going to get right on out. Phoenix knocked into the wall. The new target. That is going to be the first blood coming in from GankStars, evening up the score.
Yeah, a little bit of a mistake there from Phoenix to try and go in. Was looking to try and save Von C, but Von C obviously with that into the fray was able to leap out of the fray and to safety, leaving Phoenix in a really bad position there. So, you know, a first mistake really in this matchup between Von and GankStars, as now Love Ice Forever just going to be putting out a lot of damage onto Old School with this Heliogenesis. And it's thus far pretty even in terms of the farm. Old School still doing a really good job despite being up against that ranged hero in Celeste.
Yeah, he's actually farming admirably well against the harassment that can constantly come down from those Heliogenesises or Heliogenesi. But at the same time, Von Menace have really good jungle control right now. They jump in. I think they actually stole that minion too. Von C trying to find a kill here maybe. Old School is nearby, able to help out. And a forward barrage from Fuji is a great tool at zoning the enemies away. It does just completely force them back. The damage threat is too substantial right now.
Yeah, and this is the threat as they're going in
oh,
fully.
Man, GankStars actually want to go for a fight here. Phoenix might fall for the 2nd time if he's not careful. They are going to be able to make it back. You got to be careful if Von C is nearby. That engagement can go horribly wrong very quickly for GankStars. So they did the smart thing. They put down the pressure and then backed off.
Yeah, a lot of early defensive items coming out of both junglers here. A shield and armor for Von C. Double armor for Fuji to go along with his 2 crystal bits. So a lot of tier 1 items being built, just filling up the inventory with that, trying to get as many stats as they can, because both of these teams are so aggressive. There's going to be a lot of fights and a lot of skirmishes, as Von is looking for one right now.
Yeah, Old School very far up his lane right now, but a great afterburn out of there is going to keep him safe. I like this tactic by Von to buy lots of very cost-efficient items early on, but not necessarily slot-efficient ones. You can worry about that a little bit later once you've accrued an advantage, which is absolutely what they're trying to do. That said, 500 gold is in favor of GankStars right now. Taking this gold mine would help even things up for Von.
Yeah, they're going to very likely get this one because there is no vision of this happening. Obviously, you can assume 3 members not on the map. They're probably at the gold mine, and they're going to try and stop this one. Von backing off a bit because Phoenix is already low, and they don't know where Fuji is.
Yeah, I mean, Fuji was in fact very far away, so they didn't necessarily need to do that. But of course you can't be sure, and the vision control this game has not been stellar from Von. You can see Fuji now goes in with that Surrey Strike, putting down a lot of damage. Another forward barrage would be huge. Phoenix going to fall most likely. That's the 2nd kill coming in for GankStars. Vega They're doing extremely well in the early game in this second match.
That was an absolutely amazing Surrey strike from Fuji. It hit all 3 members with those rockets, and now they're going to be the ones that are going to pick up this gold mine. VONC immediately going into the enemy jungle to pick up those back camps and get some extra gold, deny that gold from the side of GankStars. So very heads-up play, very smart play from VONC, and it's not being answered right now because GankStars, they all went to the shop, and Glaive is also picking up the back camps of their own jungle, so that's pretty much the entire jungle is just completely taken away from GankStars. So really nice job by Von to make the best of a bad situation. But now Fuji
Look at the
taking a lot.
damage onto Fuji. He's going to try and turn this one around, actually, but Death from Above juked out by both members of Von. That scout trap did a lot of damage to Fuji when he was actually core collapsed on. So very nice work by Love Ice Forever, curbing the aggression that GankStars have been showing so far this match.
Yeah, GankStars actually have a lead of about 1,000 gold here 6 minutes in. A complete 180 from game number 1 where they had actually fallen behind in gold early on despite their heavy objective emphasis in the lane. So just farming significantly better. It's a wonder what having someone actually farming the jungle can do for your gold totals.
Certainly after last game, I'm sure GankStars are wishing they had someone doing that last time around. Right now, GankStars actually shoving the lane quite a lot rather than going for too much aggressive jungle play. They might be able to find Love Ice Forever if he's not careful here. Looks like they're just going to take away the healing camp instead.
Yeah, Old School and Love Ice Forever both completing their first tier 3 items. It's the eve of harvest for Love Ice Forever, just wanting to be able to have a little bit more sustain, able to stay alive in these fights, whereas Old School opting for that Sorrow Blade, wanting as much damage as possible. A couple minion candies being picked up here by Rekt as well, so that they can fight around that gold miner, as Old School is just using that damage advantage against VONC a little bit there in the lane.
All right, so Fuji and Rekt are both quite strong at the moment. You know, Fuji, his early game damage, of course, with that Sky is substantial. And I want to talk about the synergy with Rekt here, because Rekt, if he lands a team-wide silence, that is going to be complete free reign for Fuji to just go in and kill everything. You know, if the silence doesn't land, though, there's a decent chance that a core collapse comes in, the gauntlet goes down, and Fuji just doesn't have the ability to move around freely in these fights.
Yeah, both teams sort of congregating here down in the jungle as that gold miner continues to just farm away, getting closer and closer to that payout. Von really wants to try and fight over this, but they're getting some good poke damage onto Fuji, and this is going to start it off.
All right, Phoenix gets stunned up to begin things. VONC jumping right onto the back line, finds Fuji, though. That's all the damage gone for the side of GankStars. Von Menace in a great position here. The gold mine really hurting them at the moment, though. Rekt right in the middle. VONC goes in by himself, finds the kill. The red mist keeps him alive. He gets away with almost no health. Love Ice Forever, he's landing the Heliogenocide, doing some good damage onto Rekt, forcing him back into this corner. He's gonna get hit by the Supernova. Phoenix jumps in. That is 3 kills coming through. Not quite an ace. Fuji respawned, but still a huge fight for Von Menace.
And Gold Miner was hitting away, but just wasn't able to do enough. And now Von's gonna try and steal this one away, but they're so low as Fuji's coming in. Will he be able to answer this? The gauntlet is used to escape by Phoenix, so a great turnaround there by Von, and just like that, they've swung the game completely in their favor, now having an 800 gold lead after being down by over 1,000.
Yeah, they've done a great job of clawing it back, and to be honest, we haven't seen much of that in the games so far today. Lots of teams just snowballing a lead from early to late, but Von Menace certainly showing that they can come back from a deficit. If they can maintain this, maybe even grow it a little bit, they're going to be in a great position moving forward.
Yeah, Phoenix has the Stormguard banner while Rekt still only has the Iron Guard contract, so not going to be getting that little bit of extra damage in the fights. However, there is a Fountain of Renewal completed for Rekt, which Phoenix doesn't have, as now they're starting it off.
Whoa, Fuji takes a ton of brunt damage right now. That is a big silence coming out of Catherine, allowing for him to kite back a little bit. You see Von Menace took in a lot of damage right at the beginning of that fight. but overall, no one is going to be going down, so this is maybe an opportunity for GankStars to get some scout traps down, or at least that's what I'd like them to be doing. They don't seem to be going for vision that much this game.
Yeah, that was a lot of damage early on, but here comes another fight. They're just going at it.
Knocks Love Ice Forever right back into that turret, but isn't going to be enough. Fuji jumps forward, finds some good damage, but now he's stuck in the corner. Death from above goes down across the team. That is huge. Tons of damage. Old School, he might be able to clean this one up. Afterburn on a Phoenix. GankStars, they find themselves an ace.
Or
not.
do they? That's going to be Phoenix,
Phoenix,
getting
what?
a shield and getting out of there. But a huge death from above twice in a row. Fuji was able to drop a death from above right on top of Love Ice Forever, getting that stun. First, it got them out of a bad situation, and that time, Love Ice Forever just stood on it the entire duration and melted because of those rockets. So great job, GankStars, just putting up such a strong fight. The gold, there's only 200 gold separates these two teams at 10, almost 11 minutes. This is a much, much better performance from GankStars.
You know, we heard the analysts talking about the fact that they weren't sure why GankStars would bring out that glass cannon strategy so early when, you know, being so close in seeds, they should be able to just face up in a straight-up fight between the two. They're showing that they absolutely can right now. Very close game here coming through between the two teams. As you said, 400 gold in it right now. Normally by 11.5 minutes, we see a big advantage for one team. So GankStars there by no means out of this one. They need to be very careful about the fights that they pick, though.
Yeah, and not only that, but usually by 11.5 minutes, we see a couple turrets destroyed. These turrets are still standing rather healthy, and so we could be in for a long one here, but they get a nice stun on the Phoenix, but not going to really be able to start that fight off fully, as they just didn't want to go for that full engage that close to the turret. But now they may be able to catch Love Ice a bit.
Love Ice actually just picks up an infusion. VONM want to fight right now. They're trying to turn this one around. On the backside, we got Fuji duking it out with VONC. Everyone's in a 1 versus 1 now, but they're grouping up. Fuji super low. He tries to Surrey strike out, but he can't get it. Oh, what a Solar Storm coming in from Love Ice Forever. He's actually trying to get it. He goes to Scout Trap. He goes down. Oh my goodness. That's going to be a 1-for-1. VONC wants more though. Here comes Old School. The stun. Is it going to be enough? He finds the kill. Old School gets the ace.
What a play by Old School. The gold miner was still on him, but having the courage to go in, getting that stun against the wall, and able to pick up the ace. The minions are going to do some serious damage to this turret, but not going to be enough to take it. Old School goes back and immediately tries to take this gold mine. Should be able to take this one, especially with his team coming in, but what a huge fight there.
Phoenix actually jumping in here like he wants to take it away. Might be a bad call. Old School gets that afterburn off. Death from above. Gets the stun perfectly placed. Phoenix, he's going to go down again.
VONC showing signs of weakness. Or sorry, Von Menace showing signs of weakness here as GankStars are taking the fight to them over and over again. Love Ice Forever is extremely deep trying to take this turret. This may be a really bad positional mistake.
Wrecked doesn't have a lot of damage. The turret does fall, but look, Old School's coming in here as well. Love Ice Forever, no way out. This could be a big turnaround for the side of GSV. They want to get some more. There's the stun. There's the kill. Old School, he is 5 for 1 for 4 right now. This guy's like 14 years old. He is an absolute god.
He is so incredibly talented, especially on this glaive. Like we said, the lane glaive is somewhat of a GankStars special. We see it over in the VIPL. You know, Cole the Meek likes to pull it out a lot when he can. It's banned away from them all the time, and you know they share information. These two teams, the two GankStars teams. So you know maybe he's getting lessons from Cole the Meek on how to play this lane glaive, and it is showing because he is just showing so well. 104 CS to do 118 with the Catherine or the Celeste. That's not that big of a difference for a melee versus a range.
Yeah, I mean, this game is still very close. 700 gold in it. Von, they've lost the last few fights, but that does not mean they are out of it. They have the ability to come back into this one, secure the win, and move forward. Whether or not GankStars can continue this, though, is going to be really important. They're going up for Love Ice. He face-checked the bush. The death from above doesn't land the stun, but Old School goes in. Look at the damage for Barrage, but it's blocked by VONC. He saves his teammate. and buys Von Menace some more time. They've got to start being better about their vision or they will be collapsed upon. The gauntlet flies. Old School actually caught out in a bit of a tough spot right now. Another death from above comes out, doesn't land onto anyone. Von kiting backwards nicely here.
The death from above didn't land on anyone, but it zoned them away. Love Ice Forever was not able to get close enough to continue dropping damage onto Old School, despite the fact that he was stuck inside the gauntlet. The decent gold payout comes out as we are 15 minutes in, and the Kraken has spawned. There's still only one turret destroyed in the game at 15 minutes. We've seen games over at 15 minutes in this tournament. The minion candy being put onto the lane minions, I guess just to get it out of the inventory, because that really didn't amount to anything at all. And it's not useful on the gold miner anymore because it's no longer there. But these two teams are just so evenly matched. Still less than 1,000 gold separates them as Fuji making a move up, maybe looking for a fight. I think they want to try and bait out a Kraken fight here, but I'm not sure if that's their best interest. They are sticking around. They don't want to just give that objective up.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good plan that each of these teams plays pretty safe right now. Von Menace are a game up, so GankStars, they can't get too cocky here. They're about 1,300 gold in the lead right now. That could all change at the drop of a hat. One bad Kraken fight, things crater for GankStars. In the same way, though, Von, they need to pick the perfect fight to deal with the gold disparity between the two teams.
Atlas Pauldron just picked up there by Phoenix to slow the attack speed of Old School, and they're looking for a fight.
Oh, here we go. Death from above doesn't land onto anyone. Vonsy needs to use that red mist and heal up or try and jump out of there. Good silence out of Wrecked. Old School on the back line. Phoenix taking a ton of damage. Ford Mirage finally picks it up. No one on the side of GSV taken low at all, but Love Ice Forever. He's putting down the poke on the backside of this fight. He is softening them up. If they go in, Vonsy could absolutely have a big red mist, try and win this fight. Still very close, but GSV doing a great job of securing picks. We need to talk about what each of these teams needs to do, though, and I think for Von Menace, where is their vision? Why do they not have more vision? That is the big thing that's hurting them right now.
Yeah, I only see 2 red scout traps on the map, and they're in their own jungle on the bottom side. They're only getting vision of one corner of the map, and it's nowhere near enough. Fuji is constantly getting forward barrages over the wall onto the members of Von near this turret. But at the same time, when is GankStars going to make a move to try and take these turrets? That first turret is still sitting at half health, 17.5 minutes into the game.
What happens in the late game here, Tasty Bacon? I mean, we're already pretty late on, but who is going to have the stronger team composition moving into maybe the 20-minute mark?
It's going to be really they're actually fairly similar compositions. They both scale really well into the late game. You know, Celeste and Sky are pretty similar in terms of the damage they can put out. Obviously, Rona and Glaive also, again, big melee weapon power bruisers. The key is going to be the ultimates. It's going to be Death from Above and Solar Storm. Which one connects better? And here we go.
That's a big Death from Above onto Phoenix. He's trying to deal with the backline. Fuji jumps forward by himself. Solar Storm comes out, doesn't do a ton of damage. Fuji actually stunned into the gauntlet. Oh no, he goes down. Von Menace, they're turning this fight around. Old School, he is going to fall too. No one from Von Menace has fallen. Phoenix, he might find Wrecked here. He might get, oh, he gets back. There's not going to be an ace coming through for Von, but the Kraken is a real possibility here.
Yeah, with Phoenix and Vonsy there, they should be able to take this Kraken. A nice job by Rek to get that recall out as quickly as possible so he couldn't be stopped. But that is a huge fight. It looked like it was going to be in favor of GankStars. That Death from Above landed onto a big stun, but they just weren't able to capitalize on it, and that gauntlet was so crucial.
That gauntlet was absolutely amazing. It was stunning, you could say, given the fact that Fuji did get locked up by that one. Really, as soon as Fuji fell, it was all over for GankStars, and this is exactly the situation we were discussing earlier. One bad fight, and things can change at the drop of a hat. The Kraken's now pushing down onto these turrets. GankStars, they've got their backs against the wall here. Already one game down in the set. Can they pull off this defense?
This is going to be a very difficult defense. The Death from Above is out. We could be having a fight coming in very soon. The turret is going to be given up. They need to just defend their next one. The Kraken is still very, very healthy. They did not get much damage on it at all.
Yeah, they really don't have the same kind of scarf damage to that Kraken. Forward barrage is good, though. Now they're trying to go for a fight. Love Ice Forever is actually in a bad spot, but he's knocked away. They're going on VONC instead. The Red Mist healing him up. Everyone is all grouped on the side of GankStars. This is a bad fight for them. Von Menace, they pick up 2. They're going to get the turret as well. And with respawn timers of almost 40 seconds, this could easily be game.
Kraken still has half health as well. It is only Old School to defend, and I don't know if he's going to have enough.
He's trying to go on to Von C. He does take him low, but he doesn't find the kill. Love Ice Forever with that Kraken finding the turret. I think Von Menace are going to be moving forward here unless Old School can get Von C as well. He's jumping around. He's juking around that Vein Crystal,
Kraken
trying to stay alive. Old School can't find it. That is going to be game, ladies and gentlemen.
And just